Hey, Mikala, how are you?
Good. How are you, Teresa? Oh my
I'm
gosh.
great, thanks.
This is like such an honor for me to talk to you. You're
Oh,
you're my idol, you're my inspiration because I got to tell you, I'm also a medium. So I follow
oh,
you
wow.
every yeah. I'm
Oh,
very
well,
very
thank
excited.
you.
Thank you so much. I hope it's okay that I ask you a couple questions.
Sure,
Awesome.
sure.
So you are the Long Island medium, and you're coming to Green Bay, the Meyer Theater, February 15th. I'm sure everybody is super pumped to see you. I already looked at tickets. They're almost sold out.
I know, I know. I'm so excited to be coming back to Green Bay.
Yes, absolutely. So my first question is, how would you define what you do to those who maybe aren't familiar with mediumship?
Sure. So I feel that I just have the ability to communicate with people that have died. I believe that we all can connect with our own loved ones that have passed because that's a soul bond
Hmm.
that can never be broken. I just have the ability to sense and feel everyone's loved ones.
Yeah, I love that. I love that
Yeah.
so much. So,
And look, and what I do, I mean, what I do is never about people believing in mediums. I want them to believe in themselves. Because what I've
yes,
learned, when we lose someone, no matter who we lose or how they die, that grief changes us.
absolutely.
And what I do is it kind of gives us our faith back in a sense. Gives us faith, maybe it is with a religion, but more importantly, just faith in ourselves and to know that it's okay to heal and to move on.
Right.
And that we're going to grieve them for the rest of our lives here in the physical world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And to kind of have a little insight on what the afterlife is like, it really helps that like, wow, my loved one really truly is in a beautiful place. That's
Yeah.
so helpful to know.
That, Michaela, that's the thing that I find incredible about spirit. Like every experience when I channel a soul is different because souls will channel with their personality. They'll channel with what happened to them in the end of their life and it was interesting that you brought that up because souls, they'll describe what they did, like if they were reaching for someone or calling out someone's name before they died or explaining what they're seeing or what they saw, and then the
Yes.
person will say, that's exactly what my mom did, or that's exactly what my mom said it looked like while she was leaving the physical world. So,
Absolutely.
those are the things that, I mean, every time I channel spirit, I say to myself, that's crazy.
Right.
Like, how would I know that?
Exactly. There was one time too where I was doing a reading for someone and I didn't want to say it because I'm like, this is so dumb. She was opening the fridge and taking out broccoli, and I finally just said it, and the sister starts crying. She goes, "She loved broccoli."
hmm
It's
Well,
those
yeah, I
little
mean,
details.
yep. And like you said, you say something. I mean, there are so many times when I say something and I sit back and I say to myself, Teresa, what did you just say? You had no right to say that. And then the person will look at me and go, that's exactly what I needed to hear, or that's
Yes.
why I'm here. So, it's always, I learned a very long time ago that this really has nothing to do with me. I'm just
Right.
the vessel that spirit is using. And I'm just crazy enough to say the things that spirit makes me feel.
Yes, because you're like, I don't know if this means anything to you or what this is
Yeah.
supposed to mean, but
Mhm.
you're the messenger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
Absolutely. So my second question would be, how do you deal with like the skeptics and those nasty comments, like those
I don't even
annoying.
think I get nasty comments, do I? I don't know.
Oh, good. Well, good. Well, I'm glad about
I,
that.
I don't, look, I don't, I mean, I get it, Michaela. No matter what we do in life, we're skeptical of things, right?
Right.
And I always say that I respect it and I understand it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I would say, I'm not asking anyone to believe in me.
Right.
I'm asking them to believe in themselves. And the interesting thing that I find out about that is, spirit, there are things that they do talk about that are common. And I always say it's not my fault or spirit's fault that there's common ways that people die, and there are common ways and feelings and emotions that we have connected to someone's passing.
Right.
But that's the unique thing that I have spirit do. I have them channel with their personality. They will talk about things that nobody else would know about. They'll bring up things that happened years ago to remind us of the happier times.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to get someone to turn skeptic to a believer. I just want people to believe in an afterlife. I
Right.
want them to believe that the things that they sense and feel is their departed loved one. That they, even though they're physically not here with us, their soul will never leave us.
Absolutely. I love that so much. And I can connect with that so much because I always say, I'm not here to blow anybody's mind. That's not what it's about. It's about bringing that comfort and that healing and knowing that it's not the end. Like even though we can't see them anymore with our, or maybe we can't even sense them anymore with our physical senses sometimes, it doesn't mean they're not there,
Exactly. And I always say, if someone has something negative or not nice to say about me or about what I do, then they really don't know me. They're judging, because if people really look at what I do, what I have done over the years, not just channeling spirit, but have given people their life back, emotionally, and through my fan club, the work that we do with the proceeds of the fan club have changed people's lives.
Absolutely.
So I'm so proud of what I do, how I choose to use my gift, and more importantly, the team that I have and the people that support what I do, because without them, I couldn't continue to do God's work. So it's such an honor and a privilege to be able to do the work that I do. And I thank everyone that supports me and trusts me with the souls of their loved ones. Yeah,
because you know what? It's like, you could go out there and you could have, all these skeptics and whatever else. But it's like, if you talk to a group of people, it's like, even if one person benefits from what you have to say, if you're able to help at least one person out of that group, it makes it worth it, because it's such a powerful thing that you're doing for these people, and people need it.
They do. We need it more than ever. Right. And I always say, maybe someone is listening now and they didn't lose a loved one. The experience is so much more than just communicating with people that have died.
Yeah.
We've lost something over the past 5 years especially. And we deserve to grieve that, to mourn that, whether it be maybe a relationship, maybe a move, maybe we retired and retirement doesn't look the way that we thought it was going to look. Things just didn't pan out. Right. It kind of, they restore our faith. And, people say it all the time. Right. They'll say, I had no idea what to expect when I went to that show. I personally didn't get read, but what I experienced was life-changing.
Exactly.
And then they go, and then they go on to say, and then they realize that the people that did get the messages, they truly needed to hear from their loved ones more than they did. And I don't care who goes to that show, whether they're a follower of what I do, a believer, not a believer. You leave that night feeling different in a positive way.
Exactly. It's something like the message they take. Yeah.
Yeah, because you leave there, to watch, every night I watch people heal right in front of my eyes.
Yes.
And I watch perfect strangers consoling one another. It's just truly, it's incredible. And even after the show, as people are packing up, people at the theater will say to me, we saw people talking and coming up to people saying how, that they were sorry for their loss and that they hope that their message, it literally is like a community. And it's just something truly special to watch. And I always also say it kind of restores my faith in mankind coming to one of my shows.
Right.
Because
absolutely.
If you look at social media, which I try to stay off of, because it's just so much negativity and, it doesn't really serve me any purpose. But, it kind of restores your faith on how people are really there for one another.
Yes.
It really is something, special to be in that theater.
Oh, absolutely. You can just feel the love. It's a whole community, and you're like, you know what? The message that they all take back, they can spread that message to others as well, and they really learn something about, like you said, their own selves, because, you want them to believe in their own selves, and it's like, wow, we have so much power than we think we do. We think we're so limited, and when you start to expand that knowledge and you start to communicate and really believe in yourself, it's not, like you said, it's not about like, oh, is this real? Was this totally accurate? That's not even what it's about. It's like, sure, you could go down the Las Vegas Strip and find all sorts of people that you pay $1 million and they'll tell you what you want to hear, but like, that's not the ones that are
that's
true.
That's not what I do.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. The ones that are true, they have the passion and the heart behind it, where they, it's like they want to spread this message of, life really does go on. beyond Earth, and it's beautiful. And you know, I remember this lady. She lost her son, who was 16 years old. He froze to death in the forest in our community, and it was crazy. It was so crazy. I never met him, and I gave her a reading. And what I will never forget, and I'm sure you've had tons of these experiences, where she gave me a hug and she said, Mikala, I know that you won't be able to bring my son like back to life, but you gave me the will to live again. You know, and I'm like, this is
and that's
is a
what people don't realize.
Right.
Yeah. People come to my show, they don't know how to live. They don't want to live. And to kind of give them permission, to give them their life back.
Right.
It's something truly special. And I say that all the time. I'll say to someone, especially when they lose a child, I'll say to them, I know there is nothing that your child could have me say to you in this moment that is going to take away your pain and your sorrow at any time. But hopefully by allowing them to use my physical body as that vessel to give you the comfort and peace in knowing that their soul is at peace.
Right.
And that they are still with them. And that's it.
Yep. Exactly. And that's what people need to know, because like you said, there's like no will to live sometimes, especially after that. I mean, I tell people,
Mikala, it's Art. I really apologize. I just have to move on because I have another host for Theresa.
Okay, no problem at all. Well, thank you so much, Theresa. It was such an honor to talk to you.
You're very welcome. Me too, Mikala. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.